Hi, and welcome back. This is the Save the Wild Chinchillas lecture series or wildlife classes. This one's behavior, and it's the most fun I've ever had doing chinchilla research. Once again, we are being funded by ZGAP and Tulsa Zoo and people like you that are interested in helping chinchillas. So here's this is a map of the area, and what I've done is I've taken a topology map, which shows us the elevation in these contour lines, and overlaid it on a satellite image. And I'm just going to show you our station's about here, and actually that is it. And then up here's where we get our water from that we talked about in other videos, at that pond that we pipe down to here to our nurseries and some of the restoration areas. Here's that restoration area that was first planted in 2001, and there's another one all the way down here, and a bunch all through here. But what we did this time is we went across the mountains, and we decided we were going to record the chinchilla behavior because technology had become advanced enough to allow for these infrared cameras to be set up so that there wasn't light bothering the animals at night. There is a clicking noise that does bother them. And we placed them outside of these puya plants because of where we knew there were some chinchillas. And you'll see that map in another lecture of this exact area and the puyas and each little home area or core area within the habitat for each family grouping. And so when we got the videos back, we started noticing, how are we going to tell these animals apart? And it was super easy, actually, to figure out how we're going to do that, because the ears, the damages on the ears to the animals from previous fights, from just living out there, from whatever. And so this is one, and see how it's flopped over here, but over here you can't see that. This is actually the same animal from camera 2. And so we figure out from all these ear cuttings who's who, and we ended up with, at each camera site, having a family group. And the family group in camera 1 consisted of the mother, and you can see here she's missing some fur from where, or it's been pushed back or chewed away, maybe, I don't know, from where the baby's been nursing. This is her child of the first year, or the first litter of that year. His name's Chase. This is Apache. Groovy is the male there. That's the father. And Mapuche is the new baby, and he was born in October. And then in camera 2, we have Long John and Raggedy Ann, and she's the female. This is the male. And notice that only one of her eyes is showing there. The other one doesn't shine back. And then they're offsprings of Wren. And here's Raggedy Ann in the video with Wren. And then here's just Raggedy Ann eating, it appears. So we're going to go look at the videos now. Let me figure out how to pause this. Oh, well, we're going to look at the videos to document their behavior. So let me see if I can figure out how to do this. So I've uploaded a bunch of different videos for us to just look at the animals doing what they do out there. So this is in 2018, 6/27, and so March or June 27th. And we can see he's grooming, or she's grooming. We don't know who this one is. And look how long she's grooming for. This is our time, so we can time for how long the animal's doing this. And it stops grooming, and exploring is what I would call this, foraging. All right, and then let's go to the next video. Let's see what we have here. Okay, someone's hopping through. Oh, it's the mother, and there's the child. She's looking out while the juvenile is the infant, I guess. And then, whoa, let's pause this and go back. See, this is how you do the videos. And what I've done here is actually, I think maybe I've cut some of these together and stuff, but what you do is you keep on going back and forth for these studies to document every little behavior the animals are doing. So mother, little one, the new offspring, and then there's some chasing going on. The mother's back here. There's the juveniles of both, and she's actually trying to encourage that older one to disperse off, but she's right there. She's protecting the younger one. Okay, the next one we will do is, okay, we will get a commercial. Let's just go. Let's skip the ad. Here we go. And here we have a little Phyllodes darwini down here, a different species. That's that Darwin leaf-eared mouse we've been talking about. He's hopping through, foraging, looking around. He pauses and he's alert. And that's because he heard this one coming out. That's a chinchilla, and the chinchillas displaced him. Okay, and our next video we have. Oh, okay. So here we have an Abercrombie Bonetti, that animal that's so sweet and soft and gentle and nice that I'm really obsessed with. And you can see its tail's not furred. Here, the chinchilla's tail looks like a chinchilla tail. This one is the chinchilla rat. Its ears are a little shorter and wider than a chinchilla's compared to its own body. But these animals actually nest, having documented nesting with the chinchillas in the same nest, their offspring, underneath these puyas in prior studies. So let's see what happens here. Some kind of communication, and the chinchilla leaves. The Abercrombie Bonetti stays there. It was not threatened by the chinchilla. So we're going to go through a couple more. This is a video on documenting wild chinchilla behavior, and we're not going to talk about the numbers yet. We'll do that in a minute. So here's our two family groupings again. Group 1 and group 2, and each one of them is in a different area. All right, I want to point this out right here. Well, let's go back. Here's that female from cam 2, Long John. She's blind in her right eye. It's easy to find her in the videos, whichever one has this. And it looks like her eye's been punctured, but it doesn't reflect the light, the infrared light back. So we always know when that's Long John. That's her mate. You can tell by the ear cuttings or injuries. And he's eating. That is the father and son from that same camera. And what's important about this is usually at the other camera, we've always seen the mother with the offspring foraging, and she's always protecting them. Here, it's the father, and maybe it's because Long John only has use of that one eye. We don't know why, but it's always the father. It seems almost always in these videos with them. They're spending about 40% of their time foraging. That's the young one eating a stick back there. That's the father. See how his ears flipped there. So exploring, just hopping around. We don't know what they're doing. He's just hopping around. He's looking around doing whatever. Here's the mother and young from camera 1 again. And here she goes, alert, while he's out and about. You'll see the other offspring's eye pops up over here. And then that chase scene takes off. So here they are exploring, looking around, a little bit of some kind of communication or grooming going on there. Here's the little baby taking a bath. He popcorns out. It's so cute. And then he gets to be alert. Did you see that? He stops when he's doing, and it's probably because the camera might have clicked. I'm not sure. It may have been because the camera clicked. Let's see if we can get back to that. Oh, go back just a little bit. So here he is rolling, taking his, and then he's alert. These lookout posts, I want to talk about those. He's on a rock, probably. I can't see from that angle, but we noticed they had lookout posts in different areas, and defensive behavior, maybe, or offensive behavior. Then he's smelling the air. Here's another one. There's another lookout post that was common for camera 1. That other one was camera 2. But they spend a lot of time either eating or being alert. They're the prey species. Aggression in camera 1. And this is the mother chasing away the offspring after it's chasing the infant there, the offspring of the first litter. And so we didn't have that in the second camera as much because there wasn't a one from the first litter to chase off. And I think that's all we want to talk about here. Let's go back to our let's see. Oh, wait, give me a second. Let's go to the end of this video. Grooming and sexual behavior, breeding behavior. We don't see this often at all in the cameras, but we did catch a little bit of it on this camera. All right, let me get out of this and go back to our slides. So lots of behavior going on there really fast in these videos. The video links were 30 seconds, the longest. And what we need to do is write down all of this behavior. So in the first column here, we have the animal, we have the date, the time, and this is important to figure out what's going on with the animals. And then the behavior. And we've marked at the beginning, we started marking the ear marks because we weren't sure who was who before we gave people names and could talk about, oh, that's Groovy, no, that's Chase, no, that's Apache, that's Mapuche, Apache, Raggedy Ann, Long John, who are we looking at? Bryn. And then, so actually what we did, and you don't have to if you do behavior studies, but we found it easiest that someone else took the notes with somebody else, looked at the behavior and rattled off what was going on. And we had to pause and go back and forth so much. because you can't catch all the behaviors, and we were trying to understand their behavior to understand the species, right? No one's really done this for chinchillas before. So we have the file name, the date, the time. Who was it? Do these people have a name, or do we not know who it was? What were they doing? Locomotion, exploring, foraging, exploring and locomotion. They were moving around, but it also seemed like they were looking around at stuff. Foraging, eating, offensive or defensive behavior. And we always saw that. Let's see if we can see it here in camera 1. And it was always with that juvenile that the mother's encouraging to disperse out of that group. Alert behavior, grooming, and were they grooming? Were they taking a bath? Was someone else grooming somebody else? Marking, we saw that once. Breeding behavior, and then elimination, going to the bathroom. And what we found from these videos, and that we had about 800 to 1,000 of them in the end with chinchillas in them that we could actually look at and say what's going on with what, is that they were the most active between 11 o'clock at night and 3 o'clock in the morning. And then every once in a while, earlier in the evening, we didn't see them that much. Later, and it tapered off some. I wish we would have been able to have the videos on until maybe 8 a.m. Next time, maybe we should try that. And that is camera 1 and camera 2. And again, these are amounts, so it's in a bar graph. These are the number of videos that it was occurred in, and the time. Here's our results from that, and it comes down to like 3 or 4 graphs after 4 of us working on these for months. So we have alert behavior, 38% in camera 1, 34% in camera 2 in these pie graphs. Foraging, 27% here, 37% here. Defensive behavior, it was only 6% in camera 2, whereas it was 16 where that mother was trying to encourage the offspring of the first litter to disperse out. Grooming was 8% and 7%. Exploring, 13 and 9%. You can look at these more if you want to. One behavior that we saw in camera 2 that we didn't see here was there was a sexual behavior occurring, breeding behavior, and bathroom behavior. Now, there weren't that many videos where there were more than one animal in the same video. And in camera 1, there were 55, and that's because we had the 2 offspring and the mother in most of the videos. The father was in some, not many. In camera 2, when we saw the animals together in 17 videos, it was usually the father and the offspring or the parents. I don't think we recorded the mother and the offspring ever in the same video. So here's our grooming behavior. Offensive and defensive in that camera 1, that's that fighting going on. Foraging, that's the father and son, and the alert behaviors are high in both of those. And here's the alert behavior, the mother overlooking where that child is. And that is how we conducted our behavior studies. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks.